And to you and the ranking member for holding this hearing today, and I want to thank the administrator also for being here and answering our questions. I want to go back to this allocation of personnel and ask you a couple of questions. First question I have is, when was the last time that you flew into the Las Vegas airport?
It's been, it has not been since I've been administrator.
Okay. Recent, though, within the last couple of years?
Within the last year.
Would you agree with me it's one of the fastest growing, busiest airports in the world?
It is a very fast-growing airport, and you've seen some huge growth in passenger volume.
We have. We had 3.4 million passengers go through McCarran in February of this year. In fact, it was almost a 9% growth from the February previously, 2015. And we're going to anticipate we're going to continue to see this growth. Can you explain to me why TSA reduced the number of agents at that airport by 110?
Well, I got that report, and we've actually increased the allocation there. So I'm not sure how that information got presented, but I went back and checked because I was concerned by the same number. And what I found is that we've actually increased the staffing allocation. We've not reduced the numbers there. We've had some attrition there that we have to backfill, and sometimes it takes us a while to get people hired in. But let me get you the exact numbers. I think if I laid it out, I think I can see why that report was there. But it was really that we have higher attrition rates in some locations than I'd like to see, and sometimes it takes time to backfill those attrited positions. But I don't believe we've actually reduced the numbers there. So I will. But let me get you what I show for numbers and see if it's the same.
I can ask you another question. It was promised that they would maintain 10 canine units at that airport. Today, there's only one. I think there's one that's also actually borrowed, but promise to that airport.
Well, so we have an allocation staffing model that we have for canines. I can't meet all of the staffing that I'd like to see. I've said before this committee and others of Congress that I will take more canine teams because I can put them to use. I think it's one of the most effective technologies we have out there. I will. Where I use them most effectively right now, and Las Vegas is one of these locations, is to very effectively move passengers through the screening environment. It's one of the best tools we have for moving people efficiently through the lines. It's what we're trying to do at all of the large airports. Let me look specifically at Las Vegas with respect to the team. So I don't have the numbers right on the top of my head, and I'd like to get back to you with whatever rationale we're using currently to deploy teams there.
I just want to make sure that it was not a hollow promise, the 10 canine units.
No, from my perspective, as I said, I'd like to grow the canine capability across the system because I think it's a hugely effective tool, both for detection, but deterrence as well.
Okay, so if I'm hearing correctly, that you would, I can go back to the administrators of that particular airport and say that those 110 TSA personnel will be backfilled or for whatever reason.
That is my understanding, but I'll verify that
they will receive the 10 canine units
as I have them available. Yes, sir. And the challenge right now is the availability, is the numbers.
What would you anticipate would be a timeline to get 10 new?
Well, what we're doing right now, we currently have, so there's about 1,000 total canines operating across the country. About 670 or so of those are deployed to local law enforcement. So that means there's about a little over 300 teams that the TSA has itself. Of those, when I came on board last July, we had only 112 trained to do passenger screening. We're converting the rest of those dogs to passenger screening. We should be up to about 270 or so by the end of this fiscal year, converted dogs. So these are dogs that can both do regular cargo screening and then do the passenger screening. I'd like to get all 320 teams converted by the end of the year. That will give me the ability to start moving teams back into locations that don't currently have them.
What do the majority of those teams do? Do they sniff for drugs or do they sniff for?
They're explosive sniffing canines, and they're trained to sniff for a large range of explosives. It takes about 10 months to train a dog team, but once they're trained, they're incredibly effective. And what they do, if you've noticed them in the airports, they move up and down the passenger lines, and they sniff for vapor, and then they trace the vapor back to its source.
Yeah. Mr. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Heller. And there are not many places that you can get direct flights from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but one of them is to Vegas. So my constituents were adding to that number coming into and out of your airport this year.